And we're back. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend. It's Sunday here today for me, and I decided to go ahead and do a little get ready with me with you. And today I'll be using the Beaute Oceanic palette. This was another item that I bought in the Boxy pop-up sale. So it was a very reasonable price. I already knew that I liked Beaute products because, I hope I'm saying that right, Beaute. If not, I very much apologize. I already knew I liked this company because we received a smaller palette in one of my other subscription boxes, and it was really beautiful. I think it was called the Vintage Dawn palette, and it had such beautiful colors. But this one's been on my list of wants for quite a while because I love green and blue eye looks. I just love them. And I also really love the ocean. And this one has such neat names like Bora Bora and Turtle and Seaweed. That seaweed is right up my alley. It is a really pretty like olive green color. Love it. So we're going to be playing with that a bit today, and as per usual, I have no idea what I'm going to do on the eyes. I'm just going to kind of go with it and see what happens. And if you happen to have this palette, or maybe one just similar, then you could follow along with me, and that would be great. Comment down below what exciting or maybe even just regular normal things you were all up to this weekend. I'm really interested. I'd like to get to know my subscribers better. We didn't really have any concrete plans for the weekend, so I've been doing a lot of filming, and I have some more editing and description boxes, things like that to do for my channel. I've been taking photos for Instagram, things like that, but nothing really hugely interesting happened at the Rex Swanson household this weekend. I did get to talk to my mom. I've told you before, she goes to Florida for the winter, so we talk at least a couple times a week. They're doing great. They were upset because the temperature had dropped to the 40s, I believe, one night. I wish that were Pennsylvania weather, but it's not. It's really rather chilly. Beautifully sunny the past 2 days. It kind of gives you this false sense of spring because it looks so beautiful and sunny outside, but really it's still in the 20s to 30s and darn cold out there. But I do have as many curtains open as I can so that all that bright sunshine is coming in. I better get started or we're going to be here all day. I did prime my eyelids with a concealer, the e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer that I bought that was way too light for me. I found a really good use for it. I've been using it as an eye base, and so far it's been doing really well. No creasing that I can see. Today I did set it with a translucent powder, so let's go ahead and get started. I think the one that's calling to me the most right this minute is this blue down in the corner. It's kind of like a slate bluish gray, and it's called Pacific. So I'm going to load that up on a fluffy brush. This one is a Morphe M441. If you all are not interested in what brushes I'm using while I'm doing this, again, let me know down in the comments. Some people want to know, others don't. You don't have to obviously have the same exact brush, just a fluffy blending brush will do. So I'm going to start with that in my crease. And as you can see, and this was the same with the Vintage Dawn palette, there is color payoff, and a lot of it just on the first swipe, and that is with a dry brush, nothing extra added, nice fluffy blending brush. That is a beautiful color, especially if you are a blue-green lover. It's really pretty. I wish I were somewhere on a beach right now, getting some sunshine, having something nice and cold to drink. That would be great. Everyone in my family, thank goodness, really enjoys the beach and the warm weather, so we don't have anyone that doesn't want to go to the beach with us. Everybody's pretty happy. We've been talking a lot past few years about moving to a beachside town, whether it be in the Carolinas, or we'd really like to get back to Florida. If you've never been, or maybe some of you are from there, I don't know. Our favorite spot is actually the Space Coast, which is Melbourne is a little further inland, but Melbourne, Cocoa Beach area. It used to be called Satellite Beach, but I think they changed the name of it to South Patrick Shores. My husband was in the Air Force, and we were stationed right there along the main highway. So we were literally living across the street from a gorgeous beach. And they had beach access right there across the road, so we could walk over and take strolls on the beach and take our dog. And we took our daughter when she was born many times to the beach. She was quite the beach baby. So we've gone back to visit and loved it just as much as we did when we lived there. So the decision's been made. When it happens, I cannot say, but we definitely want to go there. Both of our daughters are on board, and they would come with us, I'm sure. Alright, this is where it gets tricky because there are so many gorgeous colors to pick from. I'm not sure which way I want to go, if I want to stick all blue or if I want to add some more green in there. It's hard. I think I'm going to stick with the blue for now. There is a more royal blue called Blue Clam. I'm going to take just a touch of that on a smaller brush. And it's more of a royal blue. This is an R39. It's part of their Rose Gold collection from Morphe. Take a little bit of that. You can see the pigment is crazy in these eyeshadows. I'm going to keep that lower in the crease and more towards the outside of my eye. Wow. That is a beautiful royal blue. It looks just as pretty as it does in the pan. Some of these colors you worry that when you go to put them on the eye, they're not going to show up as pretty, but this one is. This has been on my list for a long time, this palette. I cannot believe I found it in a sale on the Boxy Pop-Up. I was really pleasantly surprised and very glad that I had the extra money to get it, because I don't always. But you hate to pass up something that you really wanted for a long time, especially at such a good price. I want to say it was $12. I could be wrong. I'd have to go back and take a look at my receipt, but I am almost positive this is still available on their website, Ace Beaute's website. The Boxy Pop-Up is closed now if you don't subscribe to BoxyCharm. I know right now they are really getting beat up because of some supposed products that may not be worth the claims that they were making, or at least that the company was making. And I don't know about all that. I didn't even receive the product, so it's very difficult for me to get up in arms when I didn't receive it and have no idea what it's like. But I have enjoyed my boxes that I've gotten from BoxyCharm. The only thing lately that I have not loved is that this last box I got more chemical peeling pads, and I believe I just got some not that long ago in my box, so I wasn't that happy with that. And also makeup wipes. I think anybody that's subscribing to BoxyCharm already has plenty of makeup wipes if they want them now. If they would have sent something like the, what are those called? The ones that you can use over and over again are the Halo pads that are round and you can keep reusing them. That would be great, because that's better for our planet, and I'm on board with that, and I would have enjoyed getting something like that, but it wasn't. It was makeup wipes, and I didn't love it. That's all. You don't have to love. That's the thing with subscription boxes, though. Are you gonna love every single thing every month? No, you're not. But then again, you're only paying $21 or $25 per box, so the value is still there. It's just not always something that I love, you know, and adore, and I'm so happy to have. But some months have been awesome. Now, I've got the top, the eyelid done as much as I want to right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some on my lower lash line, and then we'll go back to the shimmers on the top and finish it up. For the lower lash line, I'm going to use a nice little pencil brush, the M431, and I'm going to pick up the very dark navy blue in the palette, and I'm going to tap that off a little bit because I don't want a lot of fallout on my cheeks. It's called Lagoon, and we're going to apply that as close to the lash line as I can get it. So I'm kind of going to pat it on at first, just so that we don't have very much fallout. And that's a really pretty color too. So far, really super not sorry that I spent the money on this palette. It's beautiful. I really like it. A lot of people don't like blue and green shadows, but I think they look really pretty with my hazel eyes, so I've never been afraid to use them. And we will go ahead and we're going to go ahead and smoke that out with the mid-size brush that we use, the R39. No additional product on that brush. And just kind of smoke it out a bit. This also helps to hide if you have any fine lines or wrinkles under your eye. Doing some shadow on the lower lash line helps with that, in my opinion. It looks really pretty as well. And if you get too crazy, you can always take some translucent powder and kind of buff that out at the edges if you feel like you've gone down too low or one side has a lot more pigment than the other. Just take some translucent powder on your brush and go ahead and blend that out, and it works really well. So now the hardest part for me, choosing a shimmer that I want to use. Because there are so many beautiful ones. This palette, my. I'm going to take a nice flat brush. I'm going to try it with that first. A flat, dry brush. This is the M166. And I think I'm going to take the one called Marina. It seems to be the darkest of the bluish shimmers in the palette. So I'm going to take some of that, kind of wipe it onto the flat brush, and tap it off on my hand a bit. And then I'm kind of going to wipe it on the lid and pat. So pat and wipe. Minimal fallout that way, we hope. Being attacked by another ladybug. Not cool. And by the way, these aren't real ladybugs. They have another name. It's an infestation in Pennsylvania. I think they released this kind of bug to help take care of another kind of bug. And guess what? These ones are now everywhere, especially this time of year when it gets a little bit warm outside. They seem to come out, and we're going to have to bomb the house. We're going to have to wait until it gets nice and warm, that we can have all the pets out, and we're going to have to bomb for these bugs, because I swear one of them bit me the other day, and I didn't even know that they could do that. And it was uncomfortable, and I wasn't very happy. So I let bugs loose and set them free in the wild all the time. But we're talking about hundreds of these bugs everywhere in the house. We just can't have it. It feels unsanitary. I don't like it. They're crawling on you at night. They go down into your drinks. Enough. That's disgusting. Okay, so let's try this. We're going to pat and then possibly wipe and see how that goes on. Well, it's beautiful. I can't say as I'm surprised. I have been very, very impressed with this brand's shadows so far, and this palette has not disappointed. It's very beautiful. I would like to try it with my finger and see if it's even better with the finger, because that's just my favorite way to apply shimmers, is with a finger. You do it however you feel most comfortable, but that's the way that I like to do it. I'm gonna bring my palette up a little closer so I can see better what I'm doing. I've got a bit of fallout on the cheek for sure from using the brush, and I also think that the finger made it much more metallic and shimmery. Let's hope that this will brush away easily, because it's glue and I'm gonna look like I have a big bruise if it doesn't. Brushed right away. Good. Otherwise, you could also add some extra powder under your eye to catch the fallout, and then it very easily brushes away. Another option, you could do your eyes first. I just don't prefer to do it that way, but I know a lot of people do prefer to do it that way. That is so pretty. So pretty. And it does remind me of the water. The waters at the beach. Very pretty. Got some very pretty glitter in it. They're like little specks. Very nice. Okay, so then we're going to carry on with that. And in the very center of my eye, because I want to try as many of the colors in the palette as I can, I'm going to put the one right next to it. It's called Bay, and it's kind of a mid-tone blue, almost robin's egg, but not quite. There is a lighter blue in here that I'll be using for the inner corner. So I'm going to take a little bit of that on my finger. We're going to do it kind of in the center of the eye over. That shows up, I'd have to say, more royal blue than I thought it would. In the pan, it looks, I'm not complaining, mind you, it's a really, really pretty color, and it blends nicely with Marina. But in the pan, I hope you can see this. I have to hide my face. In the pan, it looks very light blue, but that's not how it comes out on the eye. So, just something to note. I really like this eye look. I suppose if you don't like blue eyeshadow, you're probably thinking, good Lord, what is that woman doing? And are we back in 1980? No, we're not. But I do love a good blue eye look. And honestly, what were you expecting with a palette called Oceanic? Come on. You knew there was going to be blue and green. I may do another look with this palette because it has some gorgeous greens in here. And then for a pop in my inner corner, I'm going to take that same pencil brush, but I'm going to clean it off really good with my color switch. That's not really a color switch. I think this is the Ulta brand one, or not. I'm not sure who made this. I got it at TJ Maxx, it says. But anyway, it's just a little sponge in the center, dry sponge, and you just work your brush into it. It takes most of the pigment out. It's a quick way to change colors. That's why they call I think the original one color switch, because when you're switching colors, that'll take some of the pigment off. So now I'm going to take that very, very icy blue. It is, can you see it? It almost looks white in these lights, but it's not. It's like an icy, icy blue. It's called Bora Bora. And I'm going to use that for my inner corner. Let's see if we need to spray it. I doubt it. We haven't had to spray any of the other ones. Yeah, that's very pretty. If you want something a little brighter in the inner corner, you could go over top of that with your highlighter maybe. If you wanted something just a tad lighter than that. Or maybe you prefer a neutral inner corner and you don't want the blue. Okay. Just for funsies, let's spray it with some Fix Plus and see what happens. See if we can get an even brighter inner corner. This is just regular Fix Plus. See how they behave when we wet it. Yes, you will get a much more metallic look if you wet the shadow. That is pretty. You can turn down the lights a little bit so you can see it a little better. It really is blue. Very pretty. Okay, so we are going to finish up. I'm going to use my highlighter. I used what's left of my Ciate London confetti highlighter. I won't throw it away because it was so beautiful, but I dropped it and broke it the very first day. There's still some highlighter left in there, so I've been using it. I'm going to use that for my brow bone. Just a tiny bit on the brow bone. And fluffy brush with nothing on it. And just smooth that out. I like to go around the edges and make sure everything looks even and blendy. And then I have two different waterline colors that I was considering. One is more of a teal color. That's this one. It's very, very pretty. Get rid of my face so you can see it. Very pretty teal. That's LA Girl's Glide Gel Liner in Mermaid Blue. Very appropriate. And I also have one from Rimmel. This is their Scandalize Liner in Cobalt Craze. And I'm not sure if you can see it on camera or not, but it has silver flecks in it. It's a very pretty royal blue with silver flecks. And I don't know which one I want to use. I think we'll try the mermaid one. If we don't like it, meaning me, I can change it to the cobalt blue one. So we're going to try the LA Girl one first. It's more of a teal bluish green. Oh, I think that's nice. It adds just a good amount of kind of a greenish to make it stand out a little more. I think maybe the cobalt would have been a little too much of the blue. So we will stick with this one. Very, very pretty. Now these liners, seriously, do you see this? Being bombed by bugs? I can't. As I was saying before, I was bombed by yet another spotted bug. The LA Girl liners, they're very creamy, they're very smooth. You have lots of time to blend it out if you're using it on your eyelid. It doesn't stay in the waterline as long as some of my more expensive brands do. That's just fact for me. Maybe it works differently for other people, but I seem to have to reapply this brand and also the Rimmel more than I do Melt or Urban Decay, other a little more high-end brands. But if you're not concerned about that, throw the pencil in your purse and you can reapply whenever you like. The difference in price is well worth it. The LA Girl ones are a couple of dollars. The Melt ones are $20-some each. So I think I probably would just reapply, you know? It's fine. I am going to now curl my eyelashes, put on some lash primer, and then we'll come back and finish up. I think all we have left is mascara. I'm not doing any lashes. Like I say in my other videos, I don't use lashes on a daily basis. I just don't. If I were getting glammed up to go somewhere, I would use lashes, but until someone points me in the right direction of a glue and an eyelash that do not make my eyes feel so itchy I want to scratch my own eyes out, then I really stay away from them and don't use them on a daily basis. I would, however, really like to try the magnetic liner and lashes. I think that might be right up my alley, as long as the liner also doesn't irritate my stupid eyes. But we're going to go ahead and get this done, and we'll go ahead and fast forward through this, and I'll come back and talk about what I think about the palette. Okay, be right back. And we're back, face finished. I did use the Flower Beauty Warrior Princess Mascara, and I've really been enjoying this mascara. It lengthens and adds a lot of volume. Doesn't seem to smudge on me, easy to take off, so I've been enjoying that. And some MAC Fix Plus setting spray at the end, and I think that's it. So, what do I think about the Ace Beaute Oceanic palette? I love it. I love it. If you are a fan of green and blue shadows, you will love this palette, and you will really enjoy the formula. It is pigmented, it blends easily, it was not hard to work with at all. I've used the Vintage Dawn palette before, so I can tell you that the wear time is really good on these shadows, and I just really enjoyed playing with it. I love the color story, I love the packaging, it's great. So if you get your chance to get your hands on this and you can afford it, I say go for it. Other than that, I think that will wrap us up for today. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your time with me today. I so appreciate it. If you could please subscribe to my channel and also ring that bell so you can be notified when I do upload a new video. I love you all. I hope you're happy and healthy wherever you might be, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.